5 topics we're going to talk about. We're going to spend a couple of minutes on what the options are around acquiring a website, what makes a website effective. Going to touch on email newsletters. We are going to talk about social media briefly. We're going to talk a little bit about e-commerce. Every single business I work with and every single case study I see, a company's web presence is absolutely built around its website. They are the cornerstone. They give you the opportunity to have really focused, really clear messaging, really clear content that you do control, and an opportunity to guide a person who comes to your website through to taking a particular action. If you have a website, it needs to have a clear point to it. A website without a goal is not that effective. In the best of all worlds, you would sell a product because that's a lovely place to be if you can. If you can't sell a product, you would really like the visitor to contact you. Give us a call, fill in this contact form, leave us your details. You get their details by offering them an email newsletter with special offers. Websites are a medium where people get very distracted very quickly. And these days, the website, if at all possible, should follow more closely the tone that you're using in social media or on your email newsletter. If you have a text-based business in terms of your website or your web presence, you are seriously in trouble because people have no attention span whatsoever. They expect photographs, they expect video. They cannot be bothered reading. Home pages have two functions as far as the visitor is concerned. Am I in the right place? Where's the navigation option that's relevant to me? I will read across an entire web session an absolute maximum 28% of all the text. The sentence in the biggest font on your home page should be short, catchy, and informative. Tell people really quickly what it is you do. Email newsletters, these are a strange one these days. 3 people out of every 10 that you send an email newsletter through will come back out of the newsletter and come back into a website for the business that sent it, which is a really strong engagement rate. Social media is challenging because it is about conversations. In the good old days, you became aware of a product probably through offline, PR, whatever, and you went out and did research. All of the research exposed you basically to information that the person who developed the product or service made available to you. These days, people use a product or a service, they form an opinion, and then they share it. This is word of mouth. The challenge is that this word of mouth is grossly amplified by social networks. Whether it's on Twitter or whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on a group in LinkedIn, your businesses are at some point are going to be talked about. You personally are going to be talked about, good, bad, or indifferent. If you're going to decide whether to sell online or not, you have to look at how much activity there is in that particular space for you, and therefore how likely it is to impact on your turnover. There are a large number of people who spend a large part of their time on Facebook and mostly never leave it. So if they have the opportunity of seeing a product mentioned by a business on their page and immediately going to make a purchase and never leaving Facebook, they are probably more likely to do that. Do you go for social media integration? So can people set up an account using Facebook? Can they like a product on your page? If you want them to be able to do so, then you need to have it built in from the start. Do people have the ability to log in and generate an account for themselves, set up a username and password, so that gives them the ability to track an order? Or can they change an order once they've placed it? If you're going to do e-commerce, you have to think about that kind of stuff.